Dun, dun, dun.
Did we make it?
Looks like we made it, but they'll have to tell us if we made it.
I see us on there.
You see us on there.
I see us. See us.
Wow. You can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Nice. Welcome everyone. It's the Double Cup of Joe show. I'm your host Joe.
And I am your other Joe.
Yeah, and we haven't been here with you guys for a few weeks. It was Labor Day. Joe had to move. I had all kinds of other stuff going on.
Mhm.
It was just a nutso time. And here
Yeah.
we are. We were catching up a little bit before the show, and it's just like, wow, a lot's happened in a week and a half because that's how long it's been since we talked to each other.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen in 7 days. You think, man, 7 days isn't a long time. And then lots changes in 7 days. Oh,
Yep.
2020 is the year of speed. Watch out, people.
Bang.
Joe's coming out with the sound.
That's the sound of speed. Thud.
The fastest.
Yes. Yep, I know. The show that YouTube thought was going to happen on the 7th never happened. That was my fault, Saula. I, I set the show up to go, and then all of a sudden it was Labor Day, and I had a pretty big day with my family that day, so I was going to be gone, and I forgot to adjust that. So all of a sudden, everybody's getting notifications that we're going live. And yeah, I was just, well,
We were
I guess all I could
testing
do.
you.
Oh, yes. All I could do was quick log in, put a little message in the chat saying, we're not going to be here. And then hopefully that's good. So my apologies for that.
Yes, we will let you know in the future. But we really don't expect to miss most of these. I don't think there's that many more holidays. But as a general rule,
There's tons of holidays.
there will never be any more holidays, Joe, ever. As a general rule, if it is a holiday and we don't let you guys know, we're probably not going to be here. We're talking U.S. holidays, and we're talking the major ones. Labor Day, Memorial Day, the 4th of July, if somehow it lands on a Monday.
Christmas, New
Year's, Easter.
Thanksgiving will never be on a Monday.
Yep.
It's always on a Thursday.
Yep, Thursday.
And we won't miss due to Easter either, because that's always on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
just plan on us being here until we're not, and then we won't be.
Right on. Well, this show is really exciting. I'm excited for this one. We're talking about belief tonight. I was just telling before we got on the show, sorry it took us so long to get here tonight. Right as we started the stream, the guy Steve Nichols at Black Static and Swerve, the guy I'm working on an album with right now, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, you have a quick second?" And I'm like, "We just started a stream." He's like, "It won't take long. It won't take long." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to help him set up a project and all kind of stuff. It was weird, but at any rate, I told him, I said, "Yeah, we're talking about belief tonight," and he said, "Belize, like the country."
our next Dope Friday, we're talking about Belize.
I was like, "Belize." I'm like, all that stuff I know about Belize, which is like nothing. It's in Central America. That's about it. That's what I know.
Is it?
I think so.
I have no idea. So.
In Latin America, but I'm sure they don't speak Latin.
Maybe.
Or maybe they do. I don't know.
Latese.
You know, if you go to a Catholic mass down there, they might speak some Latin, but they do that here in the United States too. But
yes,
at any rate, so I believe in Thanksgiving Monday. Thanks. Oh, there should be a whole week Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't there be?
Yeah, I totally agree. You should give thanks all week. It's almost like we have a thing in a routine for that.
We do. So we should treat every day like Thanksgiving. And we should
Mhm.
do this 3-step routine and then go eat a bunch of turkey and
Yes,
stuff
every day.
and potatoes.
I like this plan.
Yes, good plan. You see us in a week. Oh, oh.
we had Thanksgiving dinner every day.
Every day, man. Yes, but that's the 3-step routine right there. Say what you're thankful for, eat a bunch of turkey, take
Sleep.
a nap. Top it off with some exercise. Yep, right after you eat that huge meal, go run.
Oof. Oof.
I dare you. In fact, I don't actually. Don't do that. So anyway, all right. So let's get started. What do you say, Joe?
I'm totally in. Let's do this show.
3-step process. Step number 1. What are you thankful for? Joe, what are you thankful for?
That's a great question. I am thankful that I made it here safely. I have, in case this background, you somehow didn't recognize that this was different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer in the place that I was. I'm now in the place that I am, and I am here safely. And what I needed to make it, made it, and what I didn't need to make it, well, I didn't bring. So we're good. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Man, I'm thankful for that too. I was nervous. I was like, I hope, you know.
Yeah, we
I trust
didn't.
you. I mean, you're an accountant, so like, you're pretty detailed. Like you put your ducks in a row usually pretty good. So I was like, oh, there I can trust the guy. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, because we have our Wednesday meetings, and I didn't make the last one, so Joe and I haven't even seen each other in over a week. So, at that stage, it's like, is Joe even alive?
Yeah. And I even called today.
I didn't
Joe was
answer.
like,
I'm sorry.
Nope.
So one of the things I found out about, so I moved back in with my parents. So yeah, Joe living in his parents' basement. But
hey, it's all good.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I have no cell reception. In fact, I think I can show you. There's nothing on here that would be, but there's like no cell service. Oh, it's gone.
It's like,
I lied.
Oh yeah.
But no cell.
Yeah.
No 4G.
You got like part of a bar.
Part of a bar. So, if you're trying to call me and I don't respond, whoever's out there watching, it's not you, it's me. And by me, it's
it's not you.
it's Verizon. In case you didn't notice that.
Right on. Cool. Well, at any rate, so I'm also thankful that you're there. I'm thankful that you got everything situated, and so that takes us to step number 2. Saula already has done the 3-step process. He's like, forget you. I'm not waiting for you. He's thankful for his car. And looking forward to driving it this weekend. Joe, what are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, I this whole week I am looking forward to getting a lot of stuff done. My goodness, things move quickly. My wife's got a job now. I'm looking for what I'm gonna do. I'm planning to make a good number of budgets, or I'm looking forward to actually making a good number of budgets. It's gonna flow into. Sorry guys, I'm mixing up 2 and 3.
No, it's okay.
The step, but they're gonna come together.
No, that looks forward to making budget.
I may be the only one here on the face of the planet. So I have today I made a budget with the Nat because we're trying to figure out, well, hey, if we want to buy a house down here, what's our range? What can we afford? What's our what do we have? So in case any of you are out there, you should want to look forward to budgets. It lets you plan. It lets you do things. It lets you not overspend yourself and get into trouble. Budgeting is actually pretty important, and so I highly recommend that you do it.
It is. I like budgeting when I do it by myself. When there's another person involved, i.e. a spouse, it gets infinitely more difficult sometimes, depending on the spouse and depending on the day.
Indeed, indeed. Well, what I have going for me, Joe, is I just tell Natalie that I'm going to do the budget, and because I'm an accountant, that's just my thing. So I
Yeah,
get to,
yeah,
she just
yeah.
defers
You,
to me.
you get
So
the
that's
experts,
super
right? Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that's step number two. I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna run a couple more, and they'll actually be for BSS stuff, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
I do look forward to planning.
Yes, planning is a good thing. You're right. Sola says failure to plan is planning to fail. Ben said that, I think. Ben Franklin, I think.
His buddy Ben,
My
just
good buddy Ben that I've known for hundreds of years. Yeah, but that is so true. Because if we don't have a plan, we're not target. We talked about planning on this show before. We might talk about it again sometime. But that that brings us to step number 3, which is, what are you doing today?
what am I doing today? Well, today's already over. Yeah. So, but
What are you
today,
gonna do to move your life forward?
yes, exactly. What am I gonna do? So I'm gonna do those budgeting things. That's what I'm looking forward to because I'm gonna do it. The nice thing is when you look forward to doing something that you are actually going to do today, um, that's always nice. So I'm looking forward to running those budgets. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I've got my week right.
Good job.
So, if Nat and I don't end up going to the beach tomorrow, I'm gonna run some budgets, and then I'm gonna do some writing. I have some important writing tasks that I'm working on, so that's fun.
Yes. Is this the season 2?
Yes, this is the season 2.
Joe is on the writing team for Criminal Idol season 2.
2.
Man,
Yes.
speaking of such things, I got a call from Kyle at Black Satin Swerve today. Everybody who has responded in the Kickstarter has had their stuff shipped out to them.
Ooh.
They are on their way. And so we are on track for release on Friday, September 25th. We will be having some kind of a watch party on Thursday, September 24th. And I'm not sure if it's going to be on this channel or on the Static P channel. If we're going to get together on this channel and watch everything on the Static P channel, I don't know how that's all going to work anyway.
We will let you know. Obviously, you should just like and subscribe to all of our channels, and that'll help you out. But
There you go.
the Static, I'm sure the watch party will probably end up being on the Static Pete channel because that's where we'll actually end up releasing it.
Right.
So
Yeah, so everybody should be there anyway.
yeah, just go ahead and subscribe to Static P, and there you'll have all of your Criminal Idol content right there. It'll be a lot of fun. We're super excited about everything that everybody's been waiting for, and conclusions are fun.
Yes.
So this is the finale, the end of season 1.
And
Questions will be answered. Questions will be asked, and questions will be questioned. Or something like that. So,
Good.
Please join us. It'll be was it September 24th? That's a Thursday.
24th. Yep.
So it will be super fun. We hope you can come join us for this wonderful time we're gonna have. So
Yep, it's gonna be cool. Egg will be happy. You are right, Sola, and all of us are really happy that this saga of this whole process has been just. There's been so many things that we've had to that have just popped up and reared their heads. We've handled just about every challenge you can think of throughout this process, and then but it was great learning for the next one.
Mhm.
So the next one will run much more smoothly. And those of you who did not were not able to back the project for whatever reason, all the products going to be available on our website. So bss.studio. You go there. There will be a store page set up, and everything will be available there. And it'll just be after the release on the 25th. Then all that stuff will go live shortly there. Keep an eye on that. We'll also keep you posted as to when that comes up. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna want some. You're gonna want
You're
some.
gonna want some. Yes. Agreed.
Yes. No, but that's the 3-step process. I know we talked a lot about a whole bunch of other stuff, but the 3-step process you should start your day with. We're kind of at the close of our day because it's later. Kind of.
It's kind of later.
Yeah, it's like 8:30 already.
Or is it 8:30 a.m.?
But yes, what are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? What are you going to do today to move your life forward? You ask yourself those 3 questions every day and multiple times throughout the day, and it turns your head around and puts it in a great position. So, but today we are talking about belief. And so without further ado, I'm turning it over to Joe. I believe he's got something very, very good to say about belief. So, Joe, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. If you guys weren't with us, holy cow, this is a great thing. Last time we talked about attitude, and so we're moving from this kind of mental like perception to because attitude kind of forms on this. What do you believe about the future? What do you believe about the situation you're in? We wanted to go into belief for 2 very specific reasons. One, we want you to actually ask yourself, what do you believe? Because I think we find that that's very important for what you end up doing with your life, and the attitude you take towards your life. So we did want to discuss belief in that regard, and then also just as we believe that'll come out in this segment as well, because you can't really talk about belief without talking about what you believe in, and that's kind of a part of this show today. So belief, in and of itself, it's we don't have Jeff here today, because Jeff is great about getting us definitions, and so I will be sad that we don't get that correction coming through. He's dealing with some amazing thing, amazing, not always in the good way, things in his life right now. So we will be obviously thinking of him, and then but we're going to go on with the show. Belief is kind of this idea that's in your head. What do you think? What do you feel and think about a certain idea? I'm going to generalize it quick before we'll get into specifics as the show goes on. But how do you think about something? How do you think about how the world works? How do you think about what your friends are doing? How do you think about what you're doing? What do you think about technology? What do you think about nature? There's lots of different things that we have beliefs in, and so for instance, I believe in Joe over here. Joe is here at 7:30 ish every time. Whenever we plan to get together, I just believe that Joe's going to be here because of what he's done before. Sorry, that was my phone going off. If anyone heard that.
I was like, bzzz. I was like, that was a very, very prominent buzz. I was like, that had to be mine.
Sorry about that, guys. Everyone who's watching, just check their phone. So you're welcome. That was from me to you.
Nice.
But I believe in Joe, and a lot of it has to do with what Joe's done before, and a lot of it has to do with how I think about Joe, like what I think Joe is like in his character, and so as you can kind of tell just from that very simple example, there's lots of facets that go into this. There's lots of different parts and pieces that you guys will want to think about with everything that you actually believe. And so we want to break out into the different pieces. So when you're, we've talked about it on the show before, but when you're journaling, when you're reflecting on your day, the different ways that you can think about what you believe. So we do want you to encourage you in doing that. But before I get too off in the weeds, I'm going to let Joe take it and kind of get a little bit more specific with what we're talking about. So go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. I'm going to take it in the direction of belief as it relates to your goals, your dreams, your purpose, stuff like that. Because that's kind of, one of the things that we like to do on this show and at Black Static and Swerve. It's like we just want to help people like figure out and chase after their purpose. And we want to be a place where it's safe, where you can talk about it, you can ask questions, you can if you have something you want to accomplish, you are going to come up with against people who don't believe in you. And
Mm,
many times they're the people closest to you. So if we can create an environment that can help strengthen you through that, that was one of the reasons we created Black Static and Swerve. And we were like, this should be a community. We should be able to hang out together. We should do all this kind of stuff, right? Because the more time we spend together, the more we'll boost each other up as long as we create the environment and the culture to do that. And so that Ryan has done such a good job in creating that type of a culture. And we're all just trying to follow suit as best as we can, behind him. But he's got such a great compass when it comes to that. But for belief, this is so important when it comes to accomplishing anything. There's a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz, and I would recommend everybody in the world read that book. It's so good. And one of the quotes in that book says, "Belief is the thermostat that regulates what we accomplish in life." And
mm,
that's so true because you know what a thermostat is, right? It's the thing that regulates the temperature in your house, and tells the furnace when to turn on, tells the air conditioner when to turn on, all that kind of stuff to kind of keep the temperature in a threshold, right? Right near a certain temperature. So, but belief is that for your life accomplishments. Yeah, exactly. See, Joe just he
mm-hmm.
adjusted
Yep.
it. He adjusted his thermostat. Um, but
It's now warmer.
hey, getting warmer. Um, um, but I love that concept because it is totally true. Belief is one of those things where it's like, okay, I will never rise past my level of belief.
Mm,
If I don't believe something can happen, then I'm never going to accomplish it because I won't ever drive myself to accomplish it. Now, things have happened to me that I didn't necessarily believe would happen, but it wasn't me driving after it at that point, right? So like I've had some great things happen. You know, I had no idea. I didn't even know to believe that It's Not Like I Like You by Static P would be such a huge hit. I remember listening to it after he finished it before it was released, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good song." But I didn't think, I was like, "Oh, it's all right." But he was writing so many songs, it was just like, okay, I had no clue that that one was gonna be the one that just all of a sudden exploded and went crazy and, did all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. But and then when I saw that happen, I was like, "I can't believe it." But that was, like, more of a figure of speech. But so anyway, belief is so important to what you want to accomplish because if you don't believe that you can achieve something, then you will never work hard enough to get there. The only reason that any of us work for anything is because we believe we can. I remember working alongside other people, and I remember it was so crazy. I watched a company that I used to work for. The president of this company, I worked closely with him,
mm-hmm.
and I remember watching his belief in his company just go down the tubes. I watched
Mm,
it happen because he was doing all kinds of stuff and he had all this great stuff and we were going to move things and everything and things just weren't panning out the way he wanted to and he kept borrowing more money and all this stuff kind of happened and then all of a sudden he started going into defensive mode. He just kind of started backing off. You could tell his attitude wasn't as good anymore. You just watched his whole belief and his company just started going down and down and down and down and down. And then he stopped making payroll. And then it, then I got out of there not long after that. And then wasn't probably within the 6 months after I left, the company closed. And so like belief, if he would have been able to find something that he could believe in his company, he would have been able to turn it around. But because he lost the belief, he just didn't work at it anymore. He had a lot of things going that he could have done, but it's just kind of the way things go. But anyway, I've talked for a while. I'm going to turn it back to Joe. Hopefully, this is the direction he was planning on going in, but we not. If not,
Thanks, Joe.
he's going to take it in his own direction.
Yeah, I think if any of you hadn't guessed before, Joe and I, we like to have, we think about our topics before. We don't script anything. We don't want you to think that, when we come up with this is anything but what we actually think. For two reasons. One, it seems very unreal. If you've ever listened to somebody speak off a teleprompter or a scripted message, like it doesn't sound like them. You know what that is. And so we don't want you to think that. We want you to know that when we say these things, this is what we actually think. This is what we believe. So there will be times, obviously, where Joe takes things in a direction, and I will maybe take in another. I don't think that that's what I'm going to do today, but just so you guys know where this show comes from. One of the things I did want to step back to was Saule has shared with us. He's calling himself the Budget Jeff, but I disagree. You can probably be as smart or smarter than Jeff. Jeff has what we in the biz call experience. Some people refer to that as age. Other people call that wisdom. So, if anyone thinks you don't know enough or haven't learned enough, there are so many things that come from just having lived for a long time. I want to, before I get on what Sola says, I wanted to point that out of, I moved back in with my parents. I'm at my parents' house right now. And I'm looking at the trees that were saplings when we planted them when I first moved to this house. They're like 50 feet tall, and they're like 3 or 4 feet in diameter. Like, these trees are massive. And when we planted them, they looked like sticks. And so I don't want anyone to think, hey, Jeff's got all of this wisdom. He's so much better or knows much more than everything else. He's been around for a long time, and that wisdom and experience can take a little stick, a little small person, and change them into something quite spectacular. So I did want to get that out of the way. But so he says, belief is a state or habit of mind in which trust or confidence is placed in some person or thing, which was in reference to how I first described Joe and I. He also says something is accepted, considered to be true, or held as an opinion. We haven't necessarily discussed that one, or the conviction of truth, or some statement of reality or being phenomenon when based on examination of evidence, which we also haven't talked on. We're getting there. What we've kind of looked at is 1 and 2. Joe kind of got into number 2 when we're talking about where somebody needs to believe in their business, to believe into something that exists. Joe kind of touched on that. I'm going to keep going from there, and then we'll, I think, try to get into number 3. So belief has many definitions. So if you wonder why we said we were going to talk on a bunch of different variations, it's because belief in and of itself has many different variations. So with that out of the way, one of the things that matters so significantly in belief is that you are the one who believes in it. You have that conviction. You have that kind of commitment to the ideas that you came up with. So Joe's instance is a business owner. And if none of you have been there, and I don't know many of you have been, started your own business, when you first start it, it takes a lot of belief just to believe in that idea in the first place. I don't know anyone who just started a business and went, yeah, I don't really like this idea, but yeah, we're probably just going to go with it. No, everyone who kind of starts a business is like, I have this idea that I really think is going to do something. And then they follow it through. Whether they think that's going to be their $1 million idea is a whole nother thing. Joe kind of talked about, it's not like I like you. They didn't necessarily believe that that was the $1 million idea. It's not worth $1 million, by the way. But as it were, $1 million idea.
It's worth a few million views, though.
Yeah, a few million views.
22 or something.
So big numbers, not big dollars. So you have
YouTube.
Right.
Sorry, I keep interrupting Joe. This is great.
Perfect. But at any rate, like, we have these ideas, and like, even though I say it wasn't their like, oh, we think this one is going crazy, they still believe that this was a good song. You don't have artists who put out songs they think, this is bad, this is really bad, I'm just going to kind of put that out there. It's just kind of like, this, I like this is good enough at the very least. Where they think like, this is something that I believe people need to see and to hear. So in that effect, like, whatever you're dealing with today, whether it's school, whether it's your budget at home, you need to believe in what's behind it. You need to believe that school's important as much as you end up doing it. Because if you don't believe, school's important, then you're not going to do well. Like, it just won't be there. You won't use the energy to do it. You won't spend the time to do it because the belief isn't there. It's one of the things that we're going to talk about very often in this show is, like, you get to set the terms of your destiny. Like, you get to dictate those, but you have to believe in it. And that's super important. We don't ever want anyone to lose sight of that, of the fact that you get to make those terms. That isn't, nobody decides that for you. There might be a lot of people out there right now who tell you, like, you don't get to determine this, other people determine this for you. That's a lie. That will always be a lie. And we will tell you this because we want you to be able to achieve your dreams. If you listen to the people who tell you you won't be able to achieve these things and you believe them, well, that's where your belief is, and that's what will happen. You will not achieve those dreams. That's why we're on the other side, telling you to believe that you need to believe in your dreams so that you can achieve your dreams. Because you can. Because as crazy of a world we live in, you can. Like Joe talked about with Black Second Swerve, we want you to believe that because we know that it is going to improve your life. We know that these things are evidenced and are shown by our lives and the lives of people around us, which kind of gets us into that third topic of belief. And I'm going to kick it back to Joe to keep carrying us through that. So,
to the third definition here.
Yes, conviction of the truth of some statement or the reality of some being or phenomenon, especially based on the examination of evidence.
Yes. Now it gets interesting because I want to zero in on that last part, especially when based on examination of evidence. You might not have any evidence of success at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When you start your journey, of course, you don't have any evidence of success in that field because getting started, right? It's an amazing thing. We live in this microwave society, so we don't want to ever take time and discipline ourselves to grow and improve and change and grow something and build something. Like, we just want it to happen right away. And it's so interesting to me, and that's how people will talk to us when we start down a path, and they're like, "Well, you didn't succeed yet," and it's like it's 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
Like if this was a conventional job, I still wouldn't have my first paycheck. Like,
Yep.
leave me alone, right? But then sometimes you get to the point where you get down the road a ways, and maybe you still don't have a whole lot of evidence of success yet. But there's a lot of stuff working underneath that they just don't see. You because like if you're gonna boil water, you ever watch water as it ends to boil?
Hmm.
And like somebody would say, well, the water's not boiling yet. The heat's been on this whole time and it's not boiling yet. It's not gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Nope. Not at all. Or kids learning to walk, they fall on their face. Oh, you're a failure.
What?
You're never gonna learn. You're never gonna be able to walk. You fell down. You even tried 3 times and you fell down. I can't believe this.
Hmm.
But this is what happens, right? But it's amazing because as water starts to boil, you ever watch the bubbles collect on the bottom of the pan?
Hmm.
As it's heating up. It's not boiling yet. Bubbles are getting ready. And then they get a little bit bigger. They get a little bit bigger. And then you start to watch it simmer. And here's the amazing thing. I've noticed this so many times because life tends to happen in cycles and waves. Have you ever noticed this? Like you have good times and bad times, and good times and bad times. You have successes and failures, and successes and harder things, right? So, but I've always noticed that right before like a big moment of success, I get like the biggest moment of resistance to that success. But like as I'm going along, as I'm going along, as I'm going along, then like as it starts to get really, really hard, that's when I know, okay, I'm getting close. We're gonna crack through the shell here soon. And if I can maintain my belief, then I will. And you will. If you're going down a path and you're getting some resistance from people around you or from life in general, or things just, you're dealing with problems of any sort, you're on the right track. That's not a call for you to abandon ship and leave. What it is it's telling you, okay, we're just going to test you to make you think to we just want to see. This is how life talk. I feel like this is how life in general talks to me. First, we just want to see what you're made of. Are you worthy of this success? Because it's there for you, but we just want to make it worth it. And that's kind of like the conversation I have in my head. So like when I hit up against something that's really hard, or some people that are really criticizing me, or maybe they're gossiping about me, or whatever's going on, when that is happening, I start to get excited. Like I'm just like, "Ooh, I'm on the right track. Things are gonna happen. This is gonna be good, you know. And then eventually you break through. And then the same people who were criticizing you, it's amazing because what they do then is they're like, "Oh yeah, we always knew you could do it." Or even better, they're like, "Oh, you're so lucky.
Mhm.
Must be nice. You're so lucky." Like, really? Yeah, there is a great acronym for luck, and it's laboring under correct knowledge. And the key, and that L is a capital L, laboring. You're gonna work, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be challenging. And so understand that that's the path. Don't let that shake your belief, because that is the path to success. That's the path to achieving anywhere. And so when you can build that in yourself and you understand this is just what's going to happen along the pathway, that's okay. And when you hit it, you're really like, oh, yeah, yeah, this is part of it. I remember they told me this. This is part of the pathway. That doesn't mean to stop. That just means you're being tested. And you can pass any of those tests. You might have to make some adjustments. You might have to, you know, turn, you might have to shift a little bit, you might have to do whatever, but your goals can remain the same and all that stuff that you want to accomplish can still happen. It's just the pathway to get there you might have to like run around some stuff. You might have to change direction a little bit so you can get around something and come back. You might have to climb over a wall. You might have to dig under a wall. Who knows? But it's there for you. And we want to be there, to help boost that in you. So anyway, Joe, do you have anything left?
Yeah, I think that last thing I did want to touch base on it. Um, I think it's really important that even when you're tested, this examination of evidence that yes, there are going to be times where you will be tested, and to not just stop believing in what you believed. Um, I think one of the things we've talked about on the show, and I think it's important that people understand their belief in this. This is some statement or the reality of some being or phenomenon. What a lot of people talk about with belief is their belief in the supernatural, the things beyond, whether it's God, whether it's it's any other kind of a being, or what's the other, karma, things like that. Um, there's a belief there, and what people find is that if you look at some of these things, you have evidence. You have this idea. The reason people believe in karma is because, generally speaking, those people who do bad things end up having bad things happen to them. The reason people think karma exists is because there's some evidence that when you do bad things happen to you. You can actually look at the world and say, you know what, that looks pretty accurate sometimes. And what for us, or for me anyway, I won't speak for Joe because Joe can speak for himself. He's right here. Is my life has been culminated in belief in God, the belief that there is a creator out there who set his sights on, I need the world. The world is mine. I made it, and I'm going to do something with it. And I do want to talk to you guys about that just shortly, to say whether or not that's where your mind goes, to take some time and to test all of the things. The belief is based on an examination of the evidence. The evidence has told me to go this way, and that's why this is where my life brings me. You will not meet people in your life who believe things for no reason. People don't do that. I've never met anyone who's like, yeah, I just think this. And that's it. That they don't put any background, or they don't say, hey, my life has led me here, or I've looked at the world and this is what I think. It's like that's what you get from people. Everyone out there has a story that's led them where they are. And so part of the reason I tell you this is when you meet other people, they're going to have different beliefs because their beliefs are based on different evidence. That doesn't mean there's no evidence. It's just different than yours. So as you go out and as you have all of these missions, all these things that you want to do, there are going to be people out there who think differently than you. When those people tell you you can't do this thing, it's not because they don't like you. It's not because they looked at the same evidence you did and said, no, you're wrong. It's generally because they're looking at different evidence. They're looking at things in a different way. So even those people who said, you can't do this, I don't want you to just say, oh, they're out of my life. Like, nah, get these terrible people who said no out of my life. Because they have a different way of looking at things. That doesn't mean you should change your beliefs. In fact, sometimes it means you should stick to yours even firmer. But to take it into account of everyone sees things a little bit differently. And to kind of have grace towards other people when they fight you, when they have disagreements with you, so that way you can both move forward. One of the things that I wanted to talk about here very early on is I'm an accountant. If you haven't figured that out yet, I'm an accountant.
The truth.
It's the truth.
I believe it.
You can see my license number if you really want to. The state requires me to have a license to do what I do. And very early on in my career, as a very young man, I had a gentleman come to me and say, "This is my business idea. This is what I want to do." And it was very difficult for me. But very early on, I looked at the evidence and I said, "You don't want to do this. I know that this is your dream. I know that, and this kind of sucks that I'm going to tell you this, but this is a bad idea." And he believed that it was still his dream. And he went for it. Sometimes you're going to have those times where people believe differently than you. It's still important to tell them. I'm telling you this because in this instance, that business has now folded. And it was drawn out, and I'm sure it hurt. But this is why I want you to think about what those other people have, the beliefs that they have, because sometimes they're not telling you that because they don't want to see you succeed. In fact, the opposite may very well be true. I really wanted to see this guy be successful. Even after I told him it wasn't going to be. I wanted to see him be very successful and to prove me wrong. But I want you to have that mindset so that you can have people in your life who tell you, "I disagree with you," but that are still in your life and still have an impact on you and that still care about you, because that's important too. Anyway, that's all I have left. Joe?
Right on. Well, that's a great place to leave it because that is so important to remember. I have trouble remembering that because I always look at people who come into my life and give me resistance and guff, and I'm just like, well, forget you then. Yeah. And I do that little shake thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. They're just looking at different evidence. And you know what? Who knows where we're all going to end? But if you have something you want to accomplish, here's one thing that gives me so much encouragement, and that is that there is evidence all around us of people who have taken nothing, it started from scratch, and created massive enterprises, massive legacies out of stuff that was before thought to be impossible. That airplane, take it for granted. Look at the history of the Wright brothers. The car, Saula, you'll like that. We take it for granted. We take cars for granted. All the little things that go into cars, like the air conditioning and all that kind of stuff, like all those things were the result of somebody having some idea and figuring it out and going after it. And our lives are greatly improved because of it. And so I would encourage you, do this. Whatever you're built to do it. Because it's going to improve the world. And even if people disagree with what you're doing, they might not see the picture the way you see it. And it might take you winning for them to see the whole picture. So keep that belief and stick around us and go to bss.studio. That website is going to be getting some revamps here real quick. We're gonna have it's gonna be a lot easier to navigate, and there's gonna be some cool stuff there. Plus, we're adding the store, like I said before. But if you go there and you get involved in this community at BSS, what's gonna happen is you'll have a dog in the
You'll
screen.
have a dog. We guarantee. Well, we don't actually guarantee, but there's dogs.
Yeah, there are people on there with dogs, and there are people on there with cats that believe cats are a good thing, and we can have discussions about such things. But anyway, go there and get involved with the community because it's just a group of people where we all want to build each other up.
Hmm.
And at times when our belief is shaken, that's the most important group of people. The people that are going to accept you, the people that are going to still love you, even if you've failed, even if something didn't go your way, even if your life seems to be crumbling around you. There are people that care about you and that will be willing to boost you up and build you up again. And so that is it's a wonderful, wonderful place. So anyway, with that, we're gonna head out and then
Hmm.
we're gonna be here next week. Are we sticking on? Are we streaming Minecraft tonight?
Do you want to? I mean, that's really up to you. I mean,
Uh,
I don't know what you
doesn't matter to
have.
me.
If
I'm probably
it's
gonna go jump on the server for a while,
yeah,
um
okay,
but
sounds good. If you want to join us, we will be in the Static P Friends Discord.
yes.
If you haven't already
Where is
joined
that? Can I
that,
invite people to that?
you could invite people to that. I don't know how.
I don't know
So
how
you can
either.
always go to the Static P music videos and
Mhm.
find the Discord link there. Um,
Okay, gotcha.
so that's not on this channel per se. We will get those added. We talk about that sometimes, but we will get those links added for our partner pages. There's so many though, and we don't want to overwhelm our descriptions. So in case you're wondering why we haven't done that all the time already,
Yes.
is we have so many links that if we don't want to confuse you guys, so hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and the notification bell so you can be reminded of the awesomeness that is the Double Cup of Joe show, the Don't Worry Wednesday show, and of course, Free for All Friday, which is coming up. I think we were hoping to pre-run that this week.
Maybe. We're gonna talk about it
Maybe.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we're
It's a
gonna.
possibility.
Yeah, we are trying to get some things ready. As Joe discussed very early on, we are releasing um, that final episode here next Thursday. Actually, holy cow!
Mm. Yep.
Um,
Thursday night, we're gonna do that. Well, there'll be details coming out.
yes.
And yeah, we will let you know what those details are.
Right. So you will know next Monday. It will be we will have specifics next Monday, which will be significantly better than right now, where we're telling you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, go like and subscribe to Static P in case we end up doing it over there.
Yes.
But we will let you guys know the specifics. We will give you some links, and you guys will be the first. So if you are a fan of the Static P, you hear most of the news first here on the Double Cup of Joe show. So hey, if there's no other reason to follow us, we give you those details. So we have the criminal idol secrets, as it were.
Do. And we share the ones that we can.
Yes, and we hide the ones that we can't.
Right, exactly.
So thank you all for being here.
Yes.
And
You guys are amazing.
we will see you over on the Discord. You guys are amazing. I'll let Joe take us out.
Oh, you're doing good.
So he's gonna take us out.
It says if I hit the like button and subscribe button, bad things would happen.
Well, don't
Because he's
don't let
probably
bad things
already hit
happen.
them, so then it would unlike it and unsubscribe.
Yeah, we will make sure to end up with an odd number of episodes so that even if people, it's brilliant. So
Yes.
thanks for being
Awesome.
here, guys. You guys are amazing, the greatest we have. So we will see you guys on the Discord if you're there. If not, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.